Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So we have an active event and an event you should probably prepare for. Right now, you may have noticed we have ×2 currency for Dread Ring. This will allow you to do the legacy campaign, Dread Ring, and get double the amount of currency. And this is invaluable due to the ability to gain twice as many Vanguard scripts. Now, what do you want to be spending those on? Well, in the Dread Ring store, you want to buy as many Thayan layer keys as possible. Now what you can do is trade in genie gifts, for example, to obtain these bags of Thayan treasures. You obtain one of these bags and it says it would give you 15 Vanguard scripts. However, when you are to actually go and open it during this event, you can see it will give you 30, twice as much currency. So you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that to its fullest in order to obtain, literally twice as much as you normally would. No other time do you want to spend, for example, genie gifts on Dread Ring. And I can do that also to obtain my boons. And that's the last boon point unlocked right there for my wizard. Now, again, you want to be getting those Vanguard scripts and you want to be buying as many of these keys as you can. Now, it's up to you whether or not you actually want to do this grind or not. As you may have heard of it before, but for new players, it's definitely going to save you a bit of Astral Diamonds and give you a way to earn some extra Astral Diamonds. Right now, if we look on the auction house, we can see that these enchanting stones, rank 5, are worth nearly 25,000 Astral Diamonds. You can see post 1 just there for over 26,000 Astral Diamonds. You can do your math and divide the prices of these and they're at about 25,000 Astral Diamonds per enchanting stone. Now this is before the time where people can get them much cheaper. And I'll explain that just in a little bit and a more detailed video when the time comes around. But again, what you want to be doing is, yes, doing your Dread Ring quests, getting your Vanguard scripts. You can get more Vanguard scripts by trading in these right here, these Thayan ciphers. However, you can see right there, gonna take you 20 hours in order to exchange that, and you just get 30 more Vanguard scripts. But you only need 10 scripts for a key, and again, you want to get as many of these as possible. Don't miss out on that. And ultimately, those keys will allow you to get these enchanting stones, to be able to farm them, either sell them or use them yourself via upgrading artifacts. That's the main reason why you need them. You can see you need like 5 here to get 1 to mythic, and I need to do that. And on top of that, you might have some artifact weapons that also need to get upgraded, like the masterwork ones. They'll also need these enchanting stones. You can get rank 4s and you can get rank 3s, but they're generally very cheap, as you can see there. Again, more details towards the end of the video. But now you also want to make sure you're prepared for the upcoming Winter Festival. This will be coming this Thursday, December the 15th. You can see the times right there. Now, this event will give you the ability to obtain pretty decent rewards. And if you're dedicated and can spend some decent amount of time on the event, you can get a lot of rewards here. Ultimately, the main thing you will obtain from this event that is the most valuable, at least from what I found, is preservation wards. For example, I want to get this artifact to mythic. I would use preservation wards here to protect my enchanting stones, my glyphs, and depending on how many refinement points you have, you might want to protect those as well. You could throw a moat in here as well, like a primitive, but just a 1% moat there generally goes for pretty cheap, and it can save you, depending on your luck, maybe 1 or 2 preservation wards here and there. Again, more detail when this event actually comes out on how you can do that to obtain the rewards. But ultimately what you are gaining is these Starlight parcels. And the best way to prepare for this event is essentially to have a bunch of characters. You're going to need to have your characters on level 15 and higher in order to partake in the event. So yes, you want to make sure you have multiple characters and you want to make sure they're level 15. You can buy in the services section here, character slots, it's 250 Zen. You can get that discounted by like 20%. But again, you want as many characters as possible on level 15. And I'll explain why. The Winter Festival is all about gift giving and Starlight parcels. Right here you can see I'm in a party and we're basically sharing gifts with each other. You essentially raise up these blue lanterns and you get all this loot dropping on the ground. And if you're in a grouped up space, you can see all that loot dropping and it'll just pick it up there. If you're lucky, you get more starlight parcels. And so that's what you're going for. And these starlight parcels, you can see, give you all of those different supplies here. And ultimately, the main reward from here is going to be preservation boards, amongst some random chances for companions and so on. Again, we'll go more detail when the event actually comes out, but ultimately, again, you want as many characters as possible for the event. Basically, every day you want to get the Star Stuff quest, which will give you a voucher to obtain a free Starlight Parcel, guaranteed. You can do it on every character, and you also obtain the Omens of Stars, which gives you a Star of Fortune, again, on every character. Stars of Fortune will get you the ability to buy more gifts along with the currency for the event. And so the more characters you have, the more advantage you can gain from the event. Of course, it will depend how much time you actually are willing to input into that. But again, it can be very lucrative with regards to its rewards, especially preservation rewards, saving them up. And then you don't need to go buy them, let's say from the Zen Market or the auction house, where they can be pretty expensive. And what you can look forward to as new for the Winter Festival this year is 4 vanity pets. You can see all the fishes right there. Pretty neat. They've made it also that fishing will now basically allow you to catch a lot more fish a lot more quickly. It'll be less just waiting around. And additionally, we can obtain a very cute new augment companion, which has some very good stats. You may have seen it already in a previous video, but it's this baby displacer beast. Damn, doesn't that look cute? But it's an augment and it will give you 3 stats for DPS characters. Additionally, new this year will be the Kitten Gorgon mount. Yes, it's going to have a little bit more of an updated visuals as it did in the video where I showcased it originally. And you can see them in game just by going to your calendar, and you can see the Winter Festival here. And we have the baby displacer beast with its stats of accuracy, crit strike, and crit severity. All 3 good offensive stats for DPS. And you also have the Kitten Gorgon there. It doesn't have any great powers. You just generally are going to get it for the visuals. The baby displacer beast, on the other hand, very good again for a DPS augment. Unfortunately, we have shifted away quite a lot from using augments on our DPS characters just because it's so easy to get those stats nice and capped. Of course, missing some accuracy with all the newer gear lately. And top of that, the Band of Air getting nerfed, etc. But augments are still very viable, and especially for newer players, they'll be able to make good advantage of having a baby displacer beast following them around, giving them those stats. Of course, as long as you have a companion enchantment, I would recommend getting a legendary companion enchantment from this choice pack right here. You can buy it for 1.6 million. All things considered, pretty cheap for something that's going to give you like 1,200 item level and boosting your stats like pretty crazy, but it's like 5,000 to each when on just legendary. So again, moving back to Dread Ring, ultimately what you're going to be doing is Thayan layers, spending those keys on Thayan layers. You are not able to go into a lair more than once a day without a key. And you're going to be wanting to go to a certain lair depending on which day it is. You can check under your minimap when we actually go to Dread Ring just here what day it is. You will see right here we currently have Necromancy for going against the lair of the day. And basically you'll gain extra Vanguard scripts when you defeat that lair of the day, which is just going to be the one that Mr. Knox up here will give you a quest for. It's the Ritual of the Dracolich to go to the Dreadspire, and we'd obtain extra Vanguard scripts from there. But what you want to do when you look at the schedule is during Wednesday, you have Conjuration. You want to go to the Death Forge and you can gain these Enchanting Stones rank 5. On Thursday, with Illusion, you can get them from your Phantasmal Fortress. And on the weekend, you can go to any of the lairs. Ultimately, also on Tuesday, you can go to the Dreadspire. And most importantly, you don't go to the lairs now. You wait till Thursday when you get ×2 of the Refining Stones, where you can gain twice as much of those Enchanting Stones from those lairs. So right now, you're just getting Vanguard scripts to buy as many keys as possible. And that's literally what you do. Just make sure that you have the right days here under the mini map. You can see today is necromancy, which you can see is only for another 2 hours on the Monday. And so it will shift over to like Tuesday already in 2 hours, which is, yeah, you might think it's a bit odd. When you're heading into these layers, you'll need a key when you do it more than once per day, and you're just going through slaughtering all your enemies. Once you get to the end, you get this loot. Basically, you can see what it drops and you can accept it, and you can see we get a bunch of enchanting stones. We didn't get lucky and we didn't get those rank 5s, but you can. And you get twice as many, but only for the next week. Again, you can look on the calendar and you want to be saving those lair keys for, again, this Thursday, when we obtain ×2 refining stones, which will give us twice as many of those enchanting stones, rank 3s, 4s, and 5s. That is when you'll be able to make a decent amount of astral diamonds by either selling those or saving your astral diamonds by not buying them and using them yourself to upgrade artifacts, artifact weapons, and artifact gear if you need to as well. Overall, hopefully this helps you guys, especially newer players. Those of you who are more veterans probably all know of this already, as this continually repeats itself every few months. The same thing comes out again and again. Special thank you again to all of these channel members for your added support. And we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.